So there's something in my yard. I don't know what it is, but wonder how that got here. Well. Huh. Wonder what this is. Seems nice. Maybe we can go bale with it. It's Vermeer, that's pretty promising. So 110 of those in America, and they're, I think it's 110 or 111 or something is what they said, but man, it's nice. It's pretty muchly a claws chopper cab, so the claws cabs they put on their choppers, pretty muchly that, with a N605 baler mounted on the back of it, which it's really nice. It uses depth, and I don't like the depth, but it's a nice baler. It's really nice. You can see it's a claws cab when you look at it. It's really nice though. Wish we owned one, but maybe in the future, maybe. But it makes really nice bales. That's a normal baler like that, and that's the bales that come out of this. And there's even I think, if I can find it, there's a camera right underneath here. I don't know where it's at. It's right there. There it is. I wish they'd put it in the middle. It'd be a lot easier to fail, but that's fine. That covers up quickly every once in a while. You just gotta clean it out, you know. But it's a really nice machine. It's got the camera. I'll show a video of that in a minute. It's this somehow when you're doing auto, you just click this when the bale's done dumping, and then you click that button, it'll bale the next bale. All you gotta do is steer. And then the next time you gotta touch this is when the next bale's done. I'm not real sure what all these buttons do. They never showed me because we're not gonna have this real long. I think it's going back tomorrow or something because it has another demo. But it's a really nice baler. Everything's in here. Turn on to select where you want to dump it. You can dump it over here. You can dump it over there. And it'll automatically do that. If you want it to, it'll swing around, it'll dump it there, or it'll swing around that way and dump it there. We just dump it out the back because the other balers dump it out the back. And yeah, it's pretty easy. PTO on off, speed. It's a pretty nice machine. And thank you. So right now I'm driving the baler on the inside. I have my mom holding the camera because I can't hold it in my hand. It's kind of hard. But it's pretty easy to run this baler. Well, after you get used to the steering, because the steering is kind of hard. And then that happens because it lets you go that fast and then it beeps at you. So it's not the best, but it works really nice. All you gotta do when it wraps is you hold your hand here. If you can see it up there, it automatically will open and close the door if I wait long enough. I'm not touching nothing. And it automatically opened and closed the door. And then as soon as I start driving, I hit the E, then it just starts driving, which is pretty nice because then you can take your hand off and just steer. Steering is pretty hard. Well, for your first few bales, after that it's pretty easy, but after that before that it's pretty hard. Yeah. Okay, some video. This thing's pretty much whatever generation I am. I haven't figured that out yet. Maybe Gen Z, maybe something else, I don't know. But all you gotta do is tap the button and steer. It's just about hands-free. They're actually working on that. In like 5-10 years, they might have a auto steer self-propelled baler. So that means all you gotta do is press the button and it'll do it all for you. Which I think would be pretty cool because, you know, I'm not the best steerer in the world. And I'm not used to this baler. That might be some of it. But see, it even dumps the bale automatically. And then it puts it back down, see? Both hands. Shuts the door all by itself. It's pretty cool. I like it. I just press a button and I'm back moving again. I like that. So all you gotta do is press the button when you're baling and then steer. It's kind of hard with my right hand there. It's better. Uh-oh. Now you see, if I wanted to, I could tap that side of the bale, then it would throw the bale over to the side automatically instead of just dumping it out the back. And if I tap that side, it'd fling it over to that side automatically. But we want it out the back because our other 2 tractors won't do that. And it automatically stops itself. Look at that. You don't have to do nothing, and then it tells you what it's doing. It says it's wrapping, or if it's, well, if it load, or ejecting bale, it tells you when it's ejecting the bale. Oh. And then turning in, I don't know what that means. And then E must stand for go. Never read that before. And then you make the next bale. And in this field, we're getting about 20 bales across the field, if not closer to 30. Because I started at 5 bales, I think, 45, and I'm already at 104, and this is only my second round. I'm not halfway done with my second round yet, so the bales are doing really good. And if you see the windrows are really big too. They're really wide, and the ground's pretty black around them, so that helps it a lot too. I personally like the older balers better because then I know what I'm doing, and it's not so many buttons, but I could get used to this one too. It's pretty easy to operate. And there's a claws cab, that's why I like it too. And it has all the same things as the claws chopper, which I don't get to drive very much, but I know how to run pretty good, so yeah, it's a really nice baler. Just a little out of our price range right now. Yeah. There's only 110 of these in America. Can you believe that? Or 111 or 112, something like that. And I am driving one of them. I never thought I'd be able to drive one of these, to be honest with you. But they're pretty easy to operate. Okay, cut that video. It's supposed to be in color, but I don't know what happened. Wish it still was. It makes more sense. The person that actually owns it. That bar's off a little bit. Oh, there it goes. It's working now. That's the level of your bale. I'm not real sure. These aren't real accurate sometimes, but most of the time they are, but I think that bar's off. That's the percent of how much of the bale is in there. So that 56 and that number that keeps rising, that's how many inches the bale is out of how many inches we want it. It goes up a few, but that's okay because that won't make a huge difference. That right there is how much of your bale is wrapped when you're wrapping. It shows you how much of the bale is actually wrapped. So when it gets all the way around, that means it's done. That's your moisture. It reads dry right now because it's just dry. That's your weight. It tells you how much the bale weighs. That's more for hay people and people that do hay. And that's your total amount of bales. That's 709 that this baler's baled. And that's how many I baled today. 118. Pretty good. But and then that just shows particular balers, the pickup automatically shuts off. Like, see how it just went up? The baler just finished shutting and everything. And then when you start baling, it kind of moves around because the amount of stuff going into it. That runs about the same the whole time except for when the door goes open. And that's how many rotations per minute the engine's doing. And that's pretty self-explanatory if you know what all the symbols are. That's how many mile an hour you're going. I think the limit in this thing's like 7 if the windrows aren't the biggest in the world, but these are big windrows, so. See, it just went down to 0. Shuts the pickup off so less tear on the net wrap. And then that will slow down when the door starts to open, so then it ain't so hard on the belts. It just fell down a whole bunch and it's not so hard on the belts. And then when it closes again, it'll kick back up. Like I said. Then I'm not going to mess with all this stuff down here because I'm not real sure what it all does. So I'm not